Done it. I've done it a couple times.
Dude,
I've drinking my own urine like 3 or 4 times.
Whoa. Wait a second, dude.
Doesn't even taste bad.
What are you talking about, man?
I'm talking about peeing in a cup and throwing it down your throat. Am I not making sense here?
All of these people who want to be famous are f***ed up in the head, or maybe they don't know what fame is. Fame is not happiness. Fame is not even being rich. What fame is the end of privacy, the end of anonymity. And yes, losing your anonymity is a bad thing. It makes you exposed, it makes you vulnerable, and makes the entire world be your noisy neighbor Mark, trying to sneak into your house and see you naked. F*** you, Mark. Most of the people had a pretty bad last year and a half, but they should not worry too much. Celebrities jumped to the rescue with their preaching. We all just love to be told what to do by some people who have no qualification in the field they are talking about. Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot.
Superpower is to stay home. Listen, honey, I hate to break it to you, but you have no superpower, okay? You are not Wonder Woman. You are playing the role of Wonder Woman. Is that clear? You are pretending to be Wonder Woman. And maybe you are so delusional that you start to believe the fantasy. Not to mention that you are tone deaf. And you should not even be allowed to sing in the shower.
Imagine there's no heaven.
Listen, all of you who play superheroes, you are not superheroes, okay? And if you think you are, just go on a tall building and aim for the bushes.
Aim for the bushes.
So I have to tell you that this subject is close to my heart. It's a subject that I've researched all my life, and more than this, that I was passionate about. And at some point, I was actually a part of, or to put it more accurately, engulfed in and suffocated by. Listen, these people are the most immoral, the most decadent, the most perverted, the vainest, and at the same time, the most insecure creatures that I had experience with. And when you see how they portray themselves publicly as these superior and worthy of admiration individuals who lie to themselves that integrity is their main quality, it just makes me sick. All of them do a good job at hiding who they are, to pretend to be better than the rest of humans. After all, they are actors. They act. Everything they do when the cameras are rolling, it's fake. And here I am talking about all kinds of celebrities as well, not only just actors, about directors, about producers, which by the way are even worse and twisted-minded. And if you are a young and aspiring actor and the producer inevitably asks you to do something embarrassing and decadent and denigrating, if you don't do it, say goodbye to your career and to fame. But I'll talk about this later. Where was I? Oh yes, this applies to singers and to athletes as well. Listen, there are many ways to become a celebrity these days. From being an actor or a singer to a social media influencer, to a the right person, or even becoming a murderer. All of these people who do something just to become famous are all weak-minded people, shallow human beings who think they are better than the rest. If you want to become famous, you need to have a severe case of craving attention. It's something that it links all of the famous people I had the experience of hanging with in that STD cesspool of a city called Los Angeles. They live on the acceptance of other people. It's the only thing that keeps them going. This and the absurd amount of drugs to keep them high, to make them forget what kind of people they are. For them, reality is the biggest burden. Some of them don't even look in the mirror because they cannot handle the shame of what they have become. The shame of the horrible, soul-crushing things they had to do to be where they are now. The shame of not being strong enough to say no. They think that being famous is making them happy, and they want to sell to you that idea as well, because they want to fool you into believing their life is better than yours. And from all of the famous people, there are some worse than others. Of course, the murderers who kill just to be famous are worse than, let's say, an actor or a TV celebrity, but not by much. Actually, in some cases, the actors are worse, because most of them think they are entitled to give us advice about other subjects such as politics, or to ask us to stay home during a health crisis.
We need to stop the spread of this virus, and we can only do it together.
Fucker. We can see you reading your script. Hey, listen, motherfucker. You are an entertainer. And that's it. Realize this about you. You are the continuation of the circus. Nothing more. You need to understand that you are just a puppet doing what is asked by your director, screenwriter, and the producers. And you will sacrifice yourself and do whatever they will tell you to do, even if that means that they will take advantage of you and rape you, just because you are shallow enough that you want to become famous. Because since you were a kid, you were brainwashed by the TV and the movies that being famous is a good thing. How many of the actors are acting just because the art of acting? Very few. Most of them are doing it just because they want the fame. And being an actor, it's a deceiving job in the first place. Think about it. It's the art of lying to be someone else. And they give awards between them to the ones who are the best at lying. Sometimes they even slap each other.
Look at us.
Nice.
Actors and TV celebrities have convinced us that what they do is somehow important or good for humanity or desirable. Let's talk a bit more about actors. Who are these people? Well, that's very simple. They are people who cannot do anything real or important with their lives, and then they have to fake it. Why studying to become a doctor when you can fake one on TV? And people will still think you did a good job. And most of the actors and actresses don't even take this job for the purpose of entertaining people. Oh no, they don't do it for their fans. They hate their fans, even if those same fans are the reason she or he is famous. The fans are making you rich. This is why you can afford to lecture them from your mansion. They not only hate their fans, but they also think they are better than them. Oh, those weak animals are idolizing me. I'm a diva, a queen, a king, a star. Why do you think these so-called stars marry only other stars? Because they hate the common people. And also, no normal guy or girl will be in a relationship with a celebrity. It will be like being a slave for them. And nothing will make them happy. Drama and mental breakdowns every day.
It's a virus, I get it, like, I respect it, but at the same time, like, even if everybody gets it, like, yeah, people are gonna die. It's just terrible, but like, inevitable?
Bitch, shut up. And for you, the desperate fans, realize that your idol is not giving a shit about you. They actually hate you. And how couldn't they? You are everywhere. See where he goes. Like cockroaches. Fans, you are a part of the problem as well. Stop for a second and think about what you are doing. Who you are putting on a pedestal. Most of the times, that person you are idolizing is extremely flawed and mentally unstable. Do not become a fan. Nobody deserves to be treated like a god or a goddess, or like he or she is perfect. Yes, if you like their work, support their work, but do not confuse the work with their person. Do not lose your mind when you see them. They are people just like you, actually worse. And you feed their ego every time you act like they are better than you. Stop doing that. Stop treating celebrities like idols. And the same applies for sport teams. Why being mad when the sport team that you support loses? Why cry about it? Do they cry when something bad happens to you? No, because they don't know you. And not only this, but they don't care about you. And to think otherwise just shows how limited sports fans are in their thinking.
Dude, shit, chill out! Yeah, what are you doing? Holy shit!
Control yourself. Be the adult that you pretend you are. And actors and actresses, understand your place is just to entertain. Keep it to that, okay? When you talk about your work. Most of you are not even in touch anymore with the reality of the people who idolize you. You are in your multi-million-dollar homes and give advice on how to be humble or any other advice that you are not in any shape or form qualified to give. You don't have any lines in this matter, so shut up. This is not a movie, it's real life. You're not talking to other characters, you're talking to real people. How many times we have to tell you that you can only talk about your industry? That's it. You have other opinion about other stuff? We don't care. DiCaprio, you care so much about the environment that you fly all around the globe in your private jet to talk about it. How much more of a hypocrite can you be? But hey, I understand. You got paid to do it. Your mug, it's recognizable. People saw you becoming an icicle in Titanic, so you must know stuff about climate change. No. It still baffles me that the movie and the TV industry somehow convinced people that they are important. They convinced somehow the public that celebrities are important and it's something you need to aspire to be, so they can make anything they want out of you when you want to desperately become famous. How many producers took advantage of this artificial power? They fooled the world. They forced aspiring stars into doing horrible things with their bodies for the chance of being famous. And this applies to kids as well. Actually, forcing a kid into this entertainment world is nothing else but child abuse. This perverted industry must disappear, and since 2020 we actually saw that it will. The age of the movie and the TV celebrities is dying, and that's a good thing. It's basically overdosing with itself, just like their stars are doing it on drugs. And the wokeness wave is the last nail in the coffin. Man, remember when the Oscars were somewhat entertaining?
So I want to say thank you to our ancestors who put the work in, were denied, but never gave up. And I also stand here as Jamaica and I break this glass ceiling with so much excitement for the future. Because I can picture Black trans women standing up here, and Asian sisters, and our Latina sisters, and Indigenous women.
What do you know about oppression? Do you think the rulers care about what colors we are? They want to control all people of all colors. They divide us and control us while we are fighting each other on who has it worse. Anyway, fans, wake the fuck up. Use the few neurons that you have left and just realize that you only need to support the artist and his art, but don't make him an idol. Don't put him or her on a pedestal and think they are flawless. Nobody is perfect, okay? And actually, those in the entertainment industry are one of the most flawed people you'll ever meet. Treat them like this and you'll not be disappointed in them when the inevitable happens and they crack and commit suicide or do other shocking things. Remember, everybody shits and their shit stinks as well. Most of the times worse than other people's. Also, don't be an imbecile and fall into the side of hating them. Don't hate them for being famous. You have no right to do it, and believe me, most of them hate themselves already. So much that they don't even look themselves in the mirror. You'll be surprised to know how many of them don't even have mirrors in their homes. And to all of the fools who think fame is such a good thing and being famous will bring you happiness, why the hell so many of the actors, TV personalities and singers are taking drugs and struggling with crippling depression? Do you think they take drugs because they make them feel good? Or maybe, just maybe, it's because of the same fucking reason that everyone else takes drugs. To escape from their reality, and escape out of their world full of pressure, full of disappointment that this is not what was promised to them by the people like them. And when they work their asses off, most of the times literally, to become famous, and then they got hit with what fame really means, which is the end of privacy, of anonymity, and the beginning of public humiliation, envy of everyone around them wanting to see them fail, of blood-sucking leeches who label themselves as friends, of shallow peers who don't have a trace of personality left in their empty shells of a body, of constant abuse by stalkers and perverts with cameras who think that because they are called paparazzi have the right to invade the privacy of others and constantly follow them just to snap a picture of them chewing the wrong way, to sell it to their friends at the TV, to be treated as news, of fanatic fans trying to break into their homes and hack their phones and computers, and movie stars. Remember to stop treating yourself like you are important. Stop blowing into your own sail. Stop inflating your egos. The world doesn't need you. What you need to understand is that you are a luxury. And in times like these, people don't need luxuries. And for sure as hell, they don't need preaching from you. You are such out of touch with the reality of the people that you speak to that you make yourself look like fools. Most of the movies will be computer generated soon anyway. Just like most of the practical sets and filming on location is quickly disappearing, just as well actors will be replaced by the CG version. And if you want to give some advice on some issue, think before you do it. And after you think about it and you believe that's still a good idea, still don't do it because nobody cares. And now, singers. Singers, first of all, if you don't compose your own music, you are not an artist. You are nothing more than the person who reads a book for Audible. Most of you don't even have a nice voice. You need enhancement just to sound a bit less horrible.
Won't you play a song about love? When I move my body, I don't have to talk about none.
Why are you even famous? Why are you celebrities? There are way more talented people who cannot get into the industry because they don't want to suck some old white man dick. The entire YouTube is full of people singing your songs better than you do. But they are not famous because they didn't suck off a producer, because they are not whores. And here I'm talking about men as well. Yes, men are whores as well. Especially if they have the luck of being gay. The entertainment industry moguls love gays, since they will be able to take advantage of them. The more perverted and twisted minded you are, the more chances you have of being a singer or an actor or a TV personality. And speaking of TV personality, I have a friend who went for an internship into a big national TV station. And one of the encounters there was with a very famous lady, a person who portrays an image of integrity and kindness. Well, surprise, surprise, turns out that this lovely lady is a bit different when the cameras are not rolling, being a mean and cold-hearted evil bitch. However, she said something that made my friend reconsider this career choice. She said that in this industry, you have to do everything that the higher-ups tell you to do. And she developed on the everything part, saying that if you want to be somebody, you have to suck a few dicks. Because, and I quote here, this is how life is, baby. Grow up. And if you're not willing to do it, there are at least 20 other people who are willing to.
Feels absolutely amazing to finally spread my legs and be the person that I know I am musically.
Imagine the effect these words have on a young mind and spirit who still believed work and talent matter in that industry. Now you see why the Me Too movement had so many complaints. What I don't get though about that movement is that some of those who complained to be abused accepted the deal to suck the dick for a certain role. They knew what they were doing, and they still did
They
it.
all knew. They all knew. And nobody opened their
Everybody-
fucking mouth so you could suck my dick. A couple of them opened their mouth. A couple of them didn't.
Yeah.
They got swept under the carpet, and that's always going to happen. But I rather fucking, the rest of these, like Angeline, the rest of these people, listen, I'm over it, brother. I don't want to hear this shit no more. It's amazing. Like, just the bullshit that these people create in their worlds. And you're right. When you go to these casting things and you see these things, you see the fucking bullshit. It pours
Yeah.
out of them, man.
Well, it's one of the reasons why the people in this town are so crazy. It's because they're insecure to begin with, right?
They took the role because they wanted to become famous, and then they complained about it. But hey, what was the alternative for them? Work. Learning their lines. Maybe I should hire them for this channel, since they will literally do anything for money. They are the perfect tools for propaganda, and along with the mainstream media and the social media, the perfect tools to forwarding an agenda. Soulless shells who will read anything for money.
We need to stop the spread of this virus, and we can only do it together. I'm watching you.
Fucker, we can see you reading your script. I'm watching you. Anyway, my friend is famous now, and I didn't saw him for more than 8 years, 10 years. I think the trauma might have turned him gay, or at least bisexual. And now people who got famous because they appear every day on TV, and we got used to their faces. You are not special. Anybody can do your job and read the jokes that an entire team of writers and researchers worked for 16 hours per day to write for you. You are just a puppet that failed in their field, so you got put behind the desk to forward some agenda. Stephen Colbert, your name is Colbert, not Colbert. Stop pretending to be French, you are not. Jimmy Fallon, you are a failed actor who always breaks character and who is so bad that cannot even act a reaction without appearing as fake. Not to mention the failed comedians Jay Leno, Jimmy Kimmel, Seth Meyers and Trevor Noah. Guys, if you were funny, if you were comedians, you would work as comedians. Or at least write your own jokes. And then we go to the evil personified. That is the boy wonder, Ellen DeGenerate, and the douchebag James Corden. also known as fat pussy. What surprises me is that people were shocked that Ellen was mean. Have you ever saw her talk show? This bitch does everything for reactions and views, and it's not a recent thing. It goes back to the beginning. Remember this Mariah Carey interview to see how manipulative she is.
That you're pregnant. There's rumors. Don't discuss that. All right. Well, you don't have to.
No, that's okay. No, honestly,
you
how
don't
do
have to
I- how
answer
do
me.
I-
Let's just toast with champagne and decide.
But they've been saying that since we. I can have some champagne. It's just fattening. So,
You can
know.
have champagne?
That's not champagne because you can't.
No, it
have
is.
one. Is it really?
Yeah. You want to taste it?
I can't believe you did this to me, Ellen.
What? No.
Are you trying
I'm
to
not
just-
going to ask you if you're pregnant or
This
not. I'm
is
just
peer
going to
pressure.
say.
Do you see what Ellen is doing? This is peer pressure.
No. Let's toast to you not being pregnant.
Or the one with Dakota Johnson.
How was the party? I wasn't invited.
Actually, no, that's not the truth, Ellen. You were invited. Last time I was on the show, last year, you gave me a bunch of about not inviting you, but I didn't even know you wanted to be invited.
Well, who doesn't want to be invited to a party?
Well, I didn't even know you liked me.
Of course I like you. You knew I liked you. You've been on the show many times, and don't I show like?
Yeah. But I did invite you and you didn't come.
And guys, can't we agree that the cancer that comedy news became is not comedy nor news? And in the times when they were in quarantine, forced to work in their palaces, we saw how funny they really were without their live audience laughing for what they were told with a funny joke.
Until we get back from my house where I am currently incarcerated, I mean camping out with my family. You know, you learn a lot about yourself when you're isolated at home. For instance, I learned that I have 2 young children, which was really something to find out.
Not funny at all. There's no sign lighting up in my house telling me to laugh when the producers think I should. Nobody laughs at home because you are not funny. And of course, they don't laugh since most of you are failed comedians. Like I said, if you were good at making jokes, you would have been comedians, not talk show hosts. And what I said for actors remains valid for you as well. Nobody cares about your opinion, especially if it's political. And when you make fun of a leader that more than 50% of your citizens chose, Republican or Democrat or whatever the you want, you are making fun of those people as well. Be a good loser and move on and try to improve yourself. Talk shows on TV where celebrities are invited should be only used for entertainment. Don't make them political. You have no qualification in politics and most of your guests don't have either. We need to bring back Craig Ferguson. Just bring him back and throw away all these Jimmies. I know, not all of you are named Jimmy, but f*** off anyway. And for f***'s sake, get away from YouTube. It's a media that you don't understand and you are desperately trying to integrate here because TV is dying. There are more interesting shows here on YouTube anyway, so f*** off. But then again, YouTube is a business and they like money, and big media companies have money. So this is why this video is counting on your support on Patreon, since it will be demonetized for sure. Now, I'm not saying there aren't good celebrities as well. They are. Keanu Reeves, Jim Carrey, Johnny Depp, and more. People who know what they are and don't lie themselves that they are something else. I've met Ed Sheeran as well, and he was cool. He might drink just as much as the critical drinker and I combined, but hey, at least he's not one of those crying depressed types when he does it. Besides, nobody's perfect. These are some of the people who stay humble and don't forget their friends and who don't inflate their ego. Try to do something good when cameras are not on. When you know you are not filmed. You know, doing good for the sake of doing good sounds familiar? Rings any bells? Not for the publicity you get because you did good. And now we see the growth of another type of cancerous celebrity. The social media ones. These pretentious motherfuckers who think they are better than everybody else just because they have a certain number of followers. Just because they vlog everything they do in their fake lives. They think they are important. These people are just as fake as the TV reality shows. But still, weak-minded people and, more sadly, kids. Watch them. Look now at the trending page and see how much garbage is there. I hope this video is not going trending. I mean, this video is just as garbage as all my other videos, but hopefully not as garbage as to be on the trending page. Maybe if I had some gay or transgender people in it and a thumbnail with a person with a shock expression or some other pregnant whore, then yeah, then I will be in trending. Oh, you're pregnant now. Such an achievement. Nobody else did this except you. Can't wait for the gender reveal party. Oh man, I swear, Idiocracy was a documentary.
Shit, I'm pregnant again!
Some people should not be allowed to multiply for the sake of the future of the human race. Anyway, about the Instagram models, they are just attention-seeking whores, and actually whores, like literal whores, no debate about that. They just sell their bodies online and even in real life. Not ashamed to be a whore, as long as you are honest about it, especially to yourself. If after this video you still think being famous is something you want, you have to consult a psychiatrist because you have a serious problem. My medical diagnostic is that you are a weak-minded narcissist piece of superficial shit. Entertain for the sake of entertaining, not for the fame and celebrity. Stay humble. Be an example of this, not an example of excess. Naive minds watch you and will want to be like you because you paint a fake image of what is to be famous. Don't take advantage of those weak minds. If you do, you're nothing different than a cult leader. Both of you take advantage of weak people, promising them something that is not real. Fame is a dangerous thing, and you should never chase it. I repeat myself, do not confuse fame with happiness. Chase happiness, peace, and not fame. Anyway, support me on Patreon, subscribe and share this video with other people. Maybe they will start using their brain.